Good afternoon, all my fellow gig economy workers. This is your main man, Teddy T, coming to you live from Philly. Today, I have several topics that I want to discuss with you guys. So, just bear with me as I go through them. First and foremost, I want to say I have an excellent update on Yancey Peterson. His online name goes by Ride with Peterson. On Saturday night, I had a about 3 hour conversation with Yancey, and he is in good spirits. He's doing a lot better. He's getting more motion. As some of you may be aware, he had a stroke. Um, and I believe it was back in April, or was it March, or near the end of March or beginning of April, somewhere in that area. But anyway, he is doing much better. He is able to stand on his own. He is able to have motion and mobility with a walker, with the assist of a walker. He is saying that the doctor is saying he will probably have to use a cane. Okay? Bear with me just 1 second. Okay. In the meantime, the other issues that I'm going to broach the subject on is the EIDL, or the Emergency Injury Disaster Loan. I fortunately, and several of my friends today received our EIDL. I am ecstatic, extremely ecstatic over that. That was wonderful. I got a text this morning from my credit union that the EIDL money came in today. So under the small business model, um, um, as a independent contractor, we were eligible for $1,000 per employee, and since I'm the only employee of the business, I received the $1,000. So I'm ecstatic, and I just pulled out a stack of bills that I was behind on, so I'm going to take care of those. But I'm extremely pleased at that. Uh, and on a further note on that, unfortunately, if you have not applied up to this point, they have shut that portal down for loans, except for and if you have an agricultural business. If you have an agricultural business, they will in fact accept your application. But for Uber, Lyft drivers, any gig economy workers, that window is closed. However, it brings me to my next point about the Payroll Protection Program, or better known as PPP. Uh, my main man out there in Cali, his name is, he goes by the rideshare guy. He had a wonderful video that he put out about the payments, the EIDL, the PPP, and the pandemic uh, unemployment assistance, or PUA. But he mentioned something in his video that was wonderful. There's a website called Lendio, Lendio.com. If you get blowback from your bank, or the bank that you have a relationship with, you can go to Lendio.com and you can submit your PPP application without having an account or without having a lending relationship. This is a free service. I checked this company out before I submitted my information. They are a legitimate company. They've been around since the 80s. They're a good company. So if you want to still get in line for the PPP, I would recommend that you go to this Lendio.com. They have the application right there. You fill it out. It takes about 5 minutes, and they will get back to you, or they will submit your application for review. Now, the thing about it, you must have your Schedule C available. There's a line on the application where you can either, if you registered and you have an EIN number, you can plug that number in. If you're going under independent contractor or sole proprietor, you can enter your social security number and they will accept that. So you have several avenues to still try to get assistance. Now, I mentioned earlier about the PUA, Pandemic Unemployment Assistance, and so far in the state of Pennsylvania, there is still a backlog for this pandemic. Now, I'm not panicking because, number one, just to give you a slight history, the Federal CARES Act was approved on March 27th. The portal to file applications for the pandemic assistance opened up on April 21st. And so the very first day that it opened, because I was checking it daily, I submitted an application, but I think what happened is that the application got kicked out of the system. So a day later, I went in to ask, to add more information, and I was told that I did not have an application on the system, so I had to resubmit my information on April 22nd. However, I did that, on April 23rd, because it was 2 days later. April 23rd, I resubmitted the application, and everything went through. But all the applications are on hold, and so the website that has been updated has only been updated up to April 21st. It is now May the 5th. And what they are saying is that on the last update is that you will not file your weekly certifications at this time, and that they will advise us of when that will be available within the coming weeks. So it looks like this may drag into mid-May before we are even able to go in and certify our applications. But I had promised that I would keep folks updated. So that is where we are. We are still waiting information from the state. I think that the issue, frankly, is that Uber and Lyft are not cooperating with the states, or they are just not replying to the states. I don't know if it's a lack of cooperation or just a lack of response, but it seems like it's one of the two. And so it is causing delays because they have to verify your income, even though you do submit the Schedule C, or in some cases, initially I submitted the entire return, and then I edited it to just include the Schedule C because that was what I thought was more relevant to my claim. However, it is up to them to decide what they think is relevant. I just decided to submit the Schedule C just to see if that was sufficient. So we'll see what happens. But I do have the entire return downloaded if they need to see it. So at this point, we're just in limbo. I've passed this information off to several of my other friends who are drivers in Philadelphia, where we're located. So far, the guys that I know have not driven since March. My last day on driving Uber, I believe, was March 28th. So it was a day after the CARES Act was passed, was my last day driving. So having said that, we are awaiting the results of that, and we will see what will happen. So if you have any questions, comments, please leave them below. Please remember to like and subscribe to my channel. I try to bring more content. I try to keep folks updated as to what is going on. Again, I would encourage you all, if you have not applied for your PPP yet, to go do that. The EIDL at this point looks like it is only open to agricultural businesses at this point. Whether it may reopen back to other gig workers. I am not certain about that. It depends on the funding levels. So far, the funding has been inadequate, to say the least. There's been some missteps. One of the things, and I'm not going to get too much into the politics of it, but one of the things that Congress had insisted when they passed this CARES Act was that they wanted a watchdog to keep an eye on the monies and how it was being dispersed. And the administration was solidly against it. And I understand why now, because some of these disbursements were absurd. They were ridiculous. And they went to the wrong people. And that's why Congress was so insistent upon it. I was in favor of that, despite the fact that it wasn't even about a matter of not being able to trust. It was just a matter of, we just like to see where the money went. And in a way, it was a great idea because we've seen that in the initial stages of this, that some of this was bungled. However, some things have improved, mostly from exposure in the media and exposure on social media. So again, this is what we're dealing with. So anyway, I hope that you guys are staying safe. Remember to follow the CDC guidelines and make sure you wash your hands and all that good stuff. Stay safe. Keep your family safe. And I will catch you guys on my very next video. Take care. Have a great day.